include the western sections of Jennings. So anywhere from Kurtz, Brownstown, Surprise, Seymour, all the way east to North Vernon. We encourage you to be in the safest part of your home, lowest level, away from windows and doors. This has a history of large hail as it moved across parts of Monroe County, and as Sean pointed out, some radar confirmation that this one it did and maybe still is producing a tornado. So lowest level, this one is making its way toward Interstate 65, and we'll go street level to give you some of the smaller areas that will be in the path of this storm. Brownstown to Staples Ford near New Elizabethtown is where most likely this storm is still rotating. So County Highway 160, County Road 100 near Dudleytown, if you're familiar or in this area, County Road 50. So basically that's going to be your Highway 50 as it moves from west to east across parts of Jackson County. Lowest level away from windows and doors, Brownstown, New Elizabethtown, Dudleytown. Obviously, we've got most likely that larger hail core just to the north of the rotation, still in Freetown, Surprise, Spraytown, approaching now Interstate 65. Rockford south to Seymour, and then all the way east to North Vernon is where we find this tornado warning. So that's kind of a street level view of Jackson County, the area that is under now a new tornado warning. This will include those of you in Crothersville, Staples Ford to just west of North Vernon, and it is that Highway 50 that comes out of Brownstown, crosses Interstate 65 near and just east of Seymour, and then continues toward North Vernon. If you're familiar with this area, if you live close to this area, take this storm seriously. Sean pointed out we did get some radar confirmation that this one did and perhaps still is producing a tornado. As we go north along Interstate 65, non-severe but heavy rain, plenty of lightning, definitely interrupting your Sunday afternoon across Bartholomew County up into Edinburgh. We've got some heavy rain, Monrovia south to Martinsville. Nothing severe, but all of us remain under that threat for severe storms, in addition to isolated tornadoes that we've already seen. Large hail already reported, the threat for some damaging winds, and the threat for some flash flooding. We're going to be forecasting this slow-moving weather system for the next several hours, and obviously heavy rain coming down with a few of these thunderstorms as well. Reaching severe limits. The severe thunderstorm warning continues for parts of Boone, Clinton counties, and this is near Thorntown and Lebanon to near Frankfort. Can hardly see Frankfort because of the radar echoes and a lot of lightning with this one. And with this kind of bowing out a little bit, Kelly talked about that, the damaging wind potential could be increasing for those of you in the eastern sections of Clinton County, northeastern parts of Boone County. It is a severe thunderstorm warning, and that cell continues to track to the south and east. Non-severe, Kelly, but we definitely have a couple storms up toward Kokomo too.
Thanks, Angela. We do have a confirmation that there was a tornado at 140 in Jay County, northwest of Como, and the debris is actually caused from a barn, a building damage. The roof is gone on the barn, and it moved across fields. So it did cause some damage there in Jay counties. Also, another report from Huntington County, and there's more damage there along 825 west and 50 south. And immediately east, there were two structures, outbuildings and grain elevator that were completely destroyed. Cattle barn with a roof missing, lots of roads impassable due to power lines and debris. So this was also relayed to one of the emergency managers by a ham radio operator.
And we can't thank those ham operators enough that get out on a day like today, not to chase storms, but to spot the severe weather, to spot the damage, to relay really critical information to the National Weather Service that then we can relay to you at home. Kelly mentioned the town of Como. That's here, right here, just northeast of Red Key and just to the southwest of Portland in Jay County, where some of those damage reports are coming from. Kelly also mentioned the power lines down. If you come across a power line down on a roadway, turn around, find another way to go. You have to treat every power line as if it was live, as to not get yourself into a situation that could be dangerous. And if you are going to have to go out and about for the rest of tonight and rest of this afternoon, that threat for severe weather will continue for us the next few hours. Sean pointed out this area here kind of untapped from thunderstorm activity, so we're going to be very concerned, especially the next couple of hours, for that potential for additional rotating storms east of Columbus and southeast of Columbus. Basically, if you draw a line from Columbus to Richmond and then southeast, that area has been untapped from clouds, rain, thunderstorms that the rest of central Indiana has been dealing with already today. This is a large view with live Doppler 13 radar. We'll go north to south and give you several locations of where we still have that potential for severe weather. It's beginning to diminish now in Jay County as it starts to work its way into parts of Ohio. This is Blackford County, the city of Hartford City. We do have some heavy rain, lots of lightning back through Wabash, Peru, Kokomo, Tipton. Non-severe at this point, but some dangerous storms. Lots of lightning, heavy rain that will reduce your visibility if you have to be on the roads. Remember, we're also dealing with a couple of counties across our northeastern viewing area, including Madison, Delaware, parts of Blackford, Huntington, and Jay counties that may have some damage from recent storms that may slow you down as well. We'll go south and west and pick up the storm. National Weather Service doesn't look like they have issued anything additional on that storm in Clinton County. Obviously some very heavy rain. This one will come out of Clinton County and start to impact Tipton County along 31. So Tipton south through Arcadia and Cicero will go from Tipton County into Hamilton County, and it's this cluster of lightning that we're tracking. It is now to the east of 421. It's east of Interstate 65. Still raining in Thorntown and Lebanon. Heavy rain along Interstate 65 to the north of Indianapolis. Let's travel south along this line. Not severe, but some off and on heavy rain. We've got it across parts of Hendricks County, near Lawrence and Castleton, the east side. Heavy rain now pushing east of Monrovia and Martinsville. This coming out of Morgan County will impact those of you in Greenwood and Whiteland, Trafalgar. So moving into Johnson County in the next few minutes. And then our final stop will be to the cell that still is under a tornado warning. And boy, even from this radar picture with live Doppler 13 radar, Sean, you can see just how intense and how dangerous this storm is near Seymour. Perhaps some rotation shifting out of Brownstown and New Elizabethtown and closer to the Seymour area.
Yeah, I think what's going on right now, this storm probably, it looks to me it's going through another cycle right now. Most dangerous part in between Brownstown and Seymour right now. Seymour, no doubt, probably getting some very large hail. And you mentioned earlier, and I've had some Twitter folks let me know that basically from Dunkirk through the central sections of Jay County toward the Ohio state line, quite a bit of damage. And, you know, and we were showing you that with radar, so that hopefully everyone is safe, but we will certainly stay tuned on that. This is the latest with the warning that continues for another 25 minutes. Now, if you're in Brownstown, if you're points west of Brownstown, there's no tornado threat, okay? But it's that little quadrant right there, that little notch that's from Crothersville heading into Seymour, where something could try to spin up here rather quickly. We did have radar confirmation of this using the dual pole radar from earlier, and so that will continue. So the radar rotation right now is over Brownstown generally, where we're starting to see the red and greens next to each other. But if you're in Seymour, we want you in your safe spot. Crothersville, you need to be in your safe spot until this cell can move toward your east. It's moving at 25 miles per hour. It's still showing what we call a radar hook, and I'll show you that. And this is, you know, here we are in November, but we're talking about a, you know, this is a supercell storm. You know, this is something we typically, you know, we get two severe weather seasons, one in the fall and one in the spring here. But we can have tornadoes anytime. So, and within that hook between Brownstown and Seymour, if we're getting a tornado, that's where it be. So crossing over 11. Yeah, Kelly?
Yeah, we just have a couple of other other damage reports that have been sent in via email as well as through the chat room. Another Madison County damage report. 1550 north between 300 west and 600 west will be closed due to power lines down along the roadway. The emergency management is en route to that area of State Road 13, and they will be working on that. So please make a note of that if you're out traveling this afternoon. Also in Howard County, heavy rains causing some flash flooding on various roads through the county. They're asking for people to please slow down to avoid hydroplaning. And of course, that was another big risk today, was the flash flooding risk. We are still under that watch. We haven't actually seen a warning come out for that, but not out of the question that a lot of those flatter roads are going to be being inundated with the copious amounts of rain that we have.
Okay, thank you, Kelly. And yeah, unfortunately, yeah, starting to get some scenes out of some pictures out of Jay County. Hopefully, we can get some of those turned around. Those are coming out on Twitter, but looking like significant damage, Angela, from Jay County, and that would have matched up with what the radar with live Doppler, when we were showing the debris signature. That little donut hole was the debris that was being lofted by that particular storm. And also, you know, I've got a track on this cell here. Though not necessarily warned for severe wind just yet, I think 50 plus is easily doable within this this Boeing line of storms that's moving into northern Hamilton, Tipton counties here. Sharpsville to basically Arcadia, fair game for 50 plus mile per hour wind, but also a quick spin up along that line too, Angela, is certainly a possibility.
We remain under a tornado watch until 7 o'clock this evening for not only the individual cells that we've been tracking, that really we've been talking about for the last couple of days. We were going to be concerned with anything that developed by itself for that potential to rotate and turn tornadic, and we have seen that happen. But also with the line itself, as Sean pointed out, a few spin ups can't be ruled out, damaging winds potential, and heavy rain. Kelly pointed out the flooding that's already starting to occur across parts of Howard County near Kokomo. The rain is coming down very fast. We've got leaves down that could be blocking some of the sewer drains, and that can quickly lead to standing water. So that's going to become a real threat as well as we work our way through the next few hours of this severe weather event that is now ongoing across parts of central Indiana. The pictures, as Sean pointed out, that we're going to start to hopefully turn around for you so we can see exactly what did happen across our northeastern viewing area. That storm has now worked its way out of the state. It is still raining across parts of Jay County, but that threat for severe weather is diminishing, thankfully. Unfortunately, it comes behind a tornado that did produce some damage, and we will continue to update you on what information, what pictures that we get in from this area. Raining in Hartford City back through Gas City, so we go from Blackford County into Marion, or parts of the Gas City around Marion into Grant County, and then along Interstate 69. So Blackford County, Grant County, those of you in Gas City, Marion, Hartford City, Fairmount, all dealing with rain and some storms. Nothing severe, no warnings for you. No warnings for you in Wabash and Peru either. Greentown, so we move west along 35, so we're now west of here Interstate 69, and you can see the heavy rain. Galveston, south through Kokomo into Tipton. This is the area, especially south of Kokomo, that Sean was pointing out for that potential for perhaps some winds reaching severe limits. Tipton approaching you. It'll be into windfall shortly. It's crossing Highway 31 right now. As we travel to the south along this line, it was this area from Sharpsville to just east of Sheridan. So basically Sharpsville to Cicero, including those of you in Tipton along 31 and east. If there are some winds with this portion of the line, most likely starting to pick up just in advance of the line of heavy rain. Can't rule out some hail. Obviously lots of lightning with this complex of storms. We'll track to the south and pick up kind of the western part of this line that goes to just south of Clark Starks Hill, Frankfort, Thorntown, Lebanon, Northfield, Zionsville, Whitestown. So we've got you covered. Clinton County into Boone County, and then we'll work our way south into Marion County. Nothing severe at this point for the city of Indianapolis. We do have a couple of clusters of storms, one on the southwest side, one on the east side, impacting those of you around Cumberland, and we'll continue to track south. We were talking about some of that steadier rain coming out of Martinsville. It's now near Brooklyn, and it's starting to work its way toward Homecroft, Greenwood, and New Whiteland. So be prepared. You've got some heavier rain coming your way. The threat for some lightning. Can't rule out some gusty winds, and the atmosphere is still unstable just enough that we can't rule out a thunderstorm quickly producing a rotation and or a tornado. Speaking of tornadoes, we do have this tornado warning that continues the rotation, as Sean has been tracking with the velocities, and a couple of those storm tracks as we go street level is now made its way close to Seymour, Chestnut Ridge, Staples Ford, Fleming, Rockford, just north of Uniontown. So in this area here is, if this one is still rotating, and that potential for a tornado is going to be near Interstate 65 at this point, and then just east as this storm is tracking to the east. National Weather Service still has this area under a tornado warning, and that warning, Sean, goes until 2:45.
Yeah, on the Bedford cell?
Yes.
Yes, correct on that.
Okay,
Yep.
so 2:45. This is street level, and we'll bring it out just a little bit, but we're south of south along Interstate 65, south of Columbus. And as we come out a little bit, it might give you a slightly better vantage point as we come out from street level, basically between Columbus and Crothersville. Here is Crothersville. Here is Columbus, Interstate 65. If this storm is still rotating, it's starting now to push just east of Seymour. That would put you perhaps in the path North Vernon. So it's going to make its way. It is making its way, in fact, into the western sections of Jennings County. So near Staples Ford, Lovett, North Vernon, Hilltown. If we've mentioned you, even if you're technically not in this warning, this storm has a history of a tornado, has a history of golf ball size hail, and it's a storm, Sean, that we've been monitoring since it developed across parts of Monroe County.
Yeah. Give me just a second, Angela.
You
I'm
got
trying to update some pictures here.
Okay.
Kelly Green was able to track some down for us. We'll share those with you here momentarily.
You got it. I will let you work on that, and we will continue to analyze the one storm that still has us with live coverage for you to keep you safe. Tornado warning until 2:45. Obviously an intense storm just south of Columbus, south of Jonesville along Interstate 65. Rotation would be in this little pocket, and just to the north of this pocket near Seymour, crossing Interstate 65. As it tracks east, those of you in the western sections of Jennings County need to stay weather aware. This storm has a history of being dangerous with large hail and producing a tornado. As we come out to an even larger view, this shows all of central Indiana dealing with that threat for severe weather. The tornado watch continues for most of us until 7 p.m. We're also under a flash flood watch. Starting to get some reports of some high water in Howard County. We're working on getting the latest information on what happened northeast of Indianapolis as a storm developed across parts of Madison County, moved through Delaware County into parts of Blackford and Jay counties. Does appear that that was a tornado, and we are getting several reports of damage, and we do have crews investigating the latest on that and investigating on what's going on with that storm across the southern part of our viewing area. Let's go. We'll start south because this is the active warning. This is the tornado warning. Seymour, North Vernon, Staples Ford, even heavy rain now. Jonesville, Elizabethtown, Columbus. A dangerous storm still prompting the tornado warning until 2:45. As this tracks east, it will do so across Jennings County. We'll wait and see what the National Weather Service does as far as perhaps issuing an additional warning. Pushing this one out a little farther east and in time, so we'll keep you updated on any changes to that. But for now, the tornado warning for eastern Jackson, western Jennings, that goes until 2:45. We'll travel north along Interstate 65. You can see the heavy rain. We can hear it now in downtown Columbus, Edinburgh, Franklin, approaching Greenwood. all of this is tracking off to the east, and we've got kind of a side-by-side of the radar. And I'm sorry, Miss Mary, this was Interstate 65? Okay, south side. Interstate 65, Interstate 465 and 65 close to the south side, and you can see just how heavy the rain is. This is a drive cam. We do not have somebody driving and filming at the same time. We promise you, we don't want you doing that either. You can see the heavy amount of rain that we have from this vantage point. Traffic, though, appears to be moving pretty good. Visibility from this vantage point, not bad. Maybe, Mary, you could let us know where they're going, or if they're just on the road checking things out or going to investigate something in particular. But this is 465 and Interstate 65 on the south side. I-65, sorry, on the south side of town approaching 465. So that's I-65, and that's the way it looks on this Sunday afternoon. In Marion County, at least, nothing reaching severe limits, but you saw with our drive cam just how heavy the rain is on the south side of Indianapolis. So they were south along Interstate 65, almost to 465, so just coming south out of downtown. And that's kind of a close-up view of Marion County, showing some of the heavier rain. Now, I do want to move south of this location to pick up Johnson County. We do have some heavy rain, non-severe, but Bargersville getting hit hard, New Whiteland, Greenwood, and Franklin. So about to 31, heaviest just west of Interstate 65. No warnings for this, but the atmosphere volatile enough that really any storm could quickly turn severe, could quickly rotate, as we still have the ingredients in place for tornadoes on this Sunday afternoon and Sunday evening. It is 2:30 on a Sunday afternoon, and this is live Doppler 13 radar showing you why we're on the air to keep you and your family safe. We obviously have a fairly active, strong weather system moving through the state at this point, continuing to trigger that threat for severe weather. The only warning left at this point is this tornado warning for the area south of Columbus, Seymour, Staples Ford, North Vernon. In this area, it was radar confirmation on a tornado, and as Sean has kind of been pointing out, oftentimes these storms will recycle, and whether this one is still producing a tornado, we don't know that for sure, but definitely still shows the sign of that from Seymour to approaching North Vernon. If you live in North Vernon, love it. Staples Ford, Seymour, Jonesville, safest part of your home, and that's going to be away from windows and doors. At this point, Crothersville, the intense part of the storm is just to the north of you, and the rotating part is now crossing and just east of Interstate 65 across the eastern sections of Jackson County. As we go north along Interstate 65, non-severe at this point, but keeping in mind we are going to have heavy rain, storm after storm after storm, the rest of this afternoon into tonight. So that threat, the other severe threat that we're going to be contending with, will be that threat for some flash flooding, and we are all under a flash flood watch as we head through later today. We will head north along Interstate 65. At this point, not severe, but heavy rain, Homecroft, Greenwood, New Whiteland into Franklin. Will watch these storms come out of Johnson County, head into Shelby County, eventually making their way toward I-74. For now, Shelbyville, Morristown, you're dry, relatively dry, but you do have some storms off to your west. North of this location, heavy pockets of rain, downtown Indianapolis. National Weather Service never did issue anything additional. It's not to say they won't on this complex that's in Kokomo, Tipton, and Cicero now. So it's this area of heavy rain, potential for some damaging winds and some hail. This will track off to the east into Elwood. So making its way out of Tipton County and Hamilton counties, eventually back into Madison County. Madison County, you're already dealing with some rain, but you've got some heavier cells developing now just to your west. Kelly?
Update on those storms that we had that moved through Blackford County. There has been confirmation that there was some damage there. Perhaps it was a small tornado. Of course, the National Weather Service will go out and confirm that, but there was damage of possible touchdown. A barn is gone, missing roof on a house, And so there was damage again. That was Blackford County in Converse, Indiana.
Okay, in Converse, so that's in our northeastern viewing area. Kelly kind of keeping a close eye on all of the information coming in, and most likely we will continue to see additional information coming in. Converse up in Blackford County, it's going to be this area here, east of Gas City, near Hartford City, and between Hartford City and Portland. So in our far northeastern viewing area from some storms earlier today. Let's travel while we're on this location. Nothing's reaching severe limits at this point. Still that potential. Raining in Fairmount. Fairmount, you've got that heavier line just to your west, so we'll watch it closely. Swayze into Greentown, not severe, no warnings with this at this point, but still the ingredients in place across central Indiana for additional tornado development, additional damaging winds, and additional large hail. The roughest part of this line goes from Greentown south to Windfall, so eastern sections of Howard County, eastern half of Tipton County, and then to the south, we go into northern sections of Hamilton County. Again, not reaching severe limits, but this is part of the line that we continue to track. Our one tornado warning, this is until 2:45. It is 2:37 on a Sunday afternoon, and the strongest part of this storm extends from Seymour to North Vernon. So coming out of Jackson County, crossing Interstate 65 into North Vernon, and it looks like from live Doppler 13 radar that instead of a tornado warning, National Weather Service is going to go severe thunderstorm warning on that. And let me get, that's going to be until 3 o'clock. So that's going to go severe thunderstorm warning instead of tornado warning for Jennings County. And that's going to go until 3 o'clock. Now, this does have a history of radar confirmation of a tornado and some large hail as it moved across parts of Monroe County just south of Bloomington. And that storm now is approaching North Vernon. National Weather Service seeing something with the radar analysis that they've gone severe thunderstorm warning. At this point, instead of tornado, that severe thunderstorm warning for Jennings County will go until 3 o'clock this afternoon. We do obviously have additional storms that are developing along a pretty powerful cold front. And I'm going to switch things over. Sean, are you about ready?
We can rock here. Yeah.
Perfect. And then I'll work on a couple of other things.
Yeah. So here's